Hey guys, Mr. Riz. I'm here to help you out with the part 6 of the 112 activity with the leaderboard and the catch a turtle. First thing I'm doing, I'm going to fork this project here. And while that's doing that, I'm going to rename it after I fork it. Oh, you know what? I'm just going to call it part 6. There we go. Okay, so what we want to do is update the leaderboard. So it's time to complete the code for our update leaderboard function. The goal of this function is to insert a new name in the score at the appropriate position in the scoreboard based on the scores. So right now we actually don't have any. Can I control V? No, I can't do that. That's my old. So I think it was like Phil had like, 50, and then Jack had like 48, and then Jill had 32 or something like that. And we had to press enter. We had to make sure in our code, the way it's working on Ripple, is that we need to have another blank at the very end of that line there. All right, what we want to do, the goal of this function is insert a new name and the score at the appropriate position in the leaderboard based on the score. The leaderboard must be maintained in descending order, meaning from the highest to lowest scores. So for our to-do section 5, what we're going to do is undo the block strings. So this had to be blocked out for our code to work because they're giving us a little bit, so I'm going to undo the block strings. Now we want to complete the while loop header so that it iterates through the leaderboard scored list set as the parameters using the leader index. So we're going to compare the leader index to the length of the list. So what we want to do here is basically say, while the leader index, which starts at 0, is less than the length of the leader scores. We could do the leader names as well, but basically we have two lists, one that has scores and one that has names. We're just going to go through one at a time. Okay. So next, for the to-do 6 part here, check to see if this is the appropriate position to insert the new score. We'll probably need to tab this in a little bit, right? If we have this while loop, let's tab that in. So now it should be in the right position. What is it not liking here? Inspect it. Oh, you know what? That was probably in the right spot. Control Z. This needs to be tapped back. There we go. Yeah, that while loop should align up with our leader index. All right, so if what? So we're going to complete this if header to check to see if the position is at the new score. So the way we can do that here is basically say like if the player score is greater than the leader score sub index. All right, so what that means is we're going to get the score from the player. So what you scored, if it's greater than the leader score sub index, so we're going to first start out, if it's greater than index 0, meaning it's the highest score, then we would break, meaning we're going to stop the code there. We're probably going to do something else. What we're going to do is make the index go up by 1. So we're going to keep going and seeing, okay, what index level do we, what's the first guy we beat? So if we got the highest score, we have our index is 0. We should be the new 0. All right, if not, okay, are we the second highest? Our index should be 1. And so we'll keep going down and down and down until we find the index number that we are larger than. And this will keep going until we have the length. So we're basically going through this pattern to find out, okay, where should we be? What index would be at? Now, what doesn't it like about this statement here? Is it leader score? It's leader scores. Index. Oh, and it's not sub index, it's sub leader index. Yeah. Okay. So we are using the leader index. We have an index from a previous one here. We're just using a different one so they don't get somehow mixed up or mixed in between. All right. Here we go. So now that we've determined the index at which your new score should be inserted, all right, we're going to add in the to-do section here. Once this while loop ends and we know what section we're going to do is we're going to insert that player name and its score into its corresponding list. So let's see here. Okay, I'm just going to enter here. We're going to do like leader scores, right, dot insert. And we want to make sure we insert it at the right position. So the leader index sub leader or player score. Okay, so what this is going to do is we know the index. We know that we should be at, we got the third highest score, so our index is 2. So we're going to go to our leader score list, and we're going to insert at element 2 for the third best score, that player score. And then we're going to do the same thing with the leader name, right? Leader names dot insert the leader index. So still the same index, keeping everything in order here, but we're going to insert the player name. Okay, so here we're going to take our leader score and we're going to insert our name and our score if it's the third highest score. All right. So we can test our code so far, add print statements to make sure the code and the name are being inserted at the correct positions. All right, I'm going to do this because I seem to have, for some reason, it likes to delete. So I'm going to copy all of this just in case it goes away. Now, remember our game is only like 5 seconds long, so there's no way I'm going to be like Jill's, but if I get added to the fourth name, that'd be fine. I guess we could, cheat and spam this a whole bunch of times. But yeah, let's test this out. Okay, and I'm guessing we'll probably, okay, I'm going to put Justin here, starting, and let's get this going. 5, 4, 3. Okay, what's my high score? It's not going to be good at all. But I'll hit 3. Okay, we got a time. Oh, we do already see an error from old code here. I think not support instance of an integer and a string, and that is in line 59. I think that's from before. Oh, no. Oh, so we do get an error here. The error is, okay, we are not saving our scores as an integer. So this kind of goes way back to previous stuff. If we remember, when we add our score to the leader score, we're adding the string like 50 or something. So we need to append the int integer of the leader score. So going all the way back here to the to-do for, make sure your leader scores dot append the integer of the leader score. So we're going to check out whether that is less than or not. So let's test that out again. A lot of trial and error here. Let me pick a different name. Amanda. All right, man, this is a really small. There we go. I at least clicked it once. Time's up. All right, your name was Amanda. Okay, so we don't see it on the list, but I do see it printed out here. So what ended up happening? Can we go to our list here? Yeah, it went away. Printed in the order that we saw here, and we saw Amanda name get printed up here. Okay, so there may be some issue, and this is why this part's getting difficult, is the way Ripple's set up, that it's clearing out this text every single time when it should be really adding to it. But maybe that's something we're going to fix later on. Okay, so it's going good. I think it makes a good print. We see Amanda and we see her score. That's awesome. Okay, so recall that the leaderboard is only supposed to contain the top 5 scores. What if the leaderboard already contains 5 scores? What would happen to the player and the scored list? So if we have more than 5, this would just keep going and going and going and going, right? All right, so next what we got to do is our to-do 8. So we're going to add the code that will check to see if the list contains more than 5 elements. If so, then we'll remove the last element in each list since it represents the player in the 6th place. We only want to have the leader score the top 5. So let's think about what we would want to do. All right, and the way we can set that up is basically saying an if statement here, like if the length of the leader names is equal to 6. Basically, if we get 6 names, so we have 5 here, we're going to go through, see where you add, and even if you get added to the bottom, be the 6th name here. Okay, or if you get moved and then the guy gets pushed down to the 6th name. So if the length of the leader's names is equal to 6, we're going to have the leader names pop element 5. Now, I guess we probably could just do pop, but we're going to get rid of the last one that's on the leader names here. And then we should also do that for the leader score. If the length, now we probably could assume here, leader names is equal to 6. The leader, or actually no, I don't want to do leader names. I want to do leader score. Leader scores pop 5 as well. We'll pop the 5th element, which would be number 6. So hopefully this kind of helps too with our blank spot that we have. But here we go. Okay, so we're always going to keep the top 5. Make sure we have that there. I'm just going to copy this. Actually, Control A, Control C. Okay, next, undo the block screen in the to-do 9. All right, so we got that all here. Let's undo this one, get rid of that. Get rid of those ones down there. We have a while loop here. So what we want to do here is review the writing function. So what's popped up here? Just kind of get. So let's see, let's tap this while loop back. All right, what do we want the while loop to do, the write function? We want the write function to write back the leaderboard data back in the leaderboard file. So we want to make it put back, and that was the problem, right? It gets deleted, and then we don't have that file that's going back there. Okay, so we can open the open file name W, which is up here. The W is a parameter that represents the write mode, so allowing us to write in this here. In other words, the Python program is given the permission to write the data to the file. In fact, the existing file is immediately erased, which we've noticed a problem, right? Every time we run this, it gets erased, and then the new data is added to the right file. So let's complete the while loop header to make sure it executes one iteration for each of the player's score, combining the new leaderboard to write them to the file. All right, so that while loop, so what we want to do is we make sure that our while loop starts out, we'll do our leaderboard index, our leader index is back to 0. As long as it is less than the length of the leader names or leader score, it's going to go through. So there's our while loop. We should have the leaderboard write the leader names, index 0, then put a comma, then put the string of their score, and then put this. Now, let's go through, let's test this out a couple times and see if this works. Because remember, we always need to have in Ripple a blank spot at the end. So here we go. What is your name? I'm going to put a different name here, Skip. Test it out. Hopefully I can get 2, 3. Oh, time's up. All right, I see Skip. All righty, so let's stop. It changed it. I'm going to run it again. So Skip is still there now. I'm going to type a different name here, Billy. And go through. Let's see how well Billy beat Skip. No, he can't. All right, we get added to the list Billy, and it's working fine. It must be including that extra space that was there. It doesn't have to be worried. All right, let's try to do another one here. What is your name? Hippo. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. I'm going to try to beat Billy at least. Okay, 3. So we can see we skipped off Billy, and now we replaced him with Hippo. Okay. So we have a game, it's working good. It's testing out every error. We're seeing everything here. Now in our terminal, it's not working well, it's showing everything before, but now we're actually showing the correct thing on our leaderboard, so it's all working out well. All right, once you guys have this done, share me the link, and I will see you guys for part 7. All right, have a great one.